from Hanumatpresaka Swami, speaking to all of us about the importance of reading and distributing Srila Prabhupada's books.
Сейчас мы просмотрим видео Ханумат Свами, которым будет рассказываться о важности распространения книг Шрилы Прабхупады.
And we thank you very, very much for coming on. Hare Krishna. And now here's the video.
Hello, Hare Krishna. This is Hanumatpresaka Swami, Anjana Sudaya Academy, www.jayarama.us. And we're recording this because you see on the left there was a request from, Naimish Sharanya Das on behalf of the BBT to describe the importance of distributing Srila Prabhupada's books, techniques of studying his books, and how this helped us, and how we think other people should also be engaged doing the same thing. Okay. So in this perspective, we heard from Srila Prabhupada when he was in San Francisco at the Berkeley Temple in 1975 that anybody who chants the Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda and follows it with Hare Krishna Hare Rama has achieved the perfection of life. But, he continued, if you want to preach, you should probably read my books. So, we have taken that instruction as very fundamental to any service we hope to offer to Srila Prabhupada. Chanting our rounds nicely, chanting as much as we can, and then, on that basis, reading Prabhupada's books, reading them for ourselves, and reading them to others so we can preach to them, and reading them directly to other people as preaching. But of course, it's a big process, so how do we do this? Questions arise in our dull brain, how to apply this simple phrase. Okay. Bhakti Buford asked us a few years ago that after so many years as a devotee, what is the essence of this Krishna consciousness? It was a very interesting question, and we thought about it, and it really came down to these 8 words. Get up early and get your rounds done. If you chant 16 enthusiastic rounds, how can you not be thankful to Srila Prabhupada? The result is enormous, enormous. So doing that, Prabhupada said you can't chant enthusiastic rounds. They should get up early, Mangalarti, Kirtan. So we have so much advice, help from Prabhupada about how to chant, and then we feel so wonderful. We can contribute something wonderful to everybody. We can begin to actually do something for Krishna. So then naturally, as we see our fellow on the right, we're asking, is there anything we can offer you, Srila Prabhupada? Maybe even just a peeled banana. So the first book we got, the first chance we had to read Prabhupada's book was the Krishna book. It was one of 2 volumes, and Buddhimanta distributed it to us at the UC Davis on the Whole Earth Day Festival. And it says in the book, the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are so powerful that simply by hearing, reading, and memorizing this one book, Krishna, one is sure to be transferred to the spiritual world, which is ordinarily very difficult to achieve. And so there's the potency of distributing these books. If people read them, if they hear us reading them, then they can be transferred to the spiritual world. In that perspective, we've taken up, for example, finding specific communities and people that we can relate to. One of these is the Jungian community. This is point number 1. In dialectical spiritualism, Prabhupada commented that amongst all the Western philosophers, Carl Jung had the most common sense. So you can look him up. It's a very, very nice area. Contact us if you're interested in preaching in this area, because it's a very active community, very intelligent community, and it's very exciting to put Prabhupada's books in their perspective. The second point we have here is that every salesman has his own technique. So you can hear things from other people, you can steal ideas from other people, but in the end, you have to develop your own technique to get the books out. And finally, the third point is that we're picking on specific areas, specific groups, but whenever we can, however we can, we have books by the door Vaisheshika said, stack them up by the door where you can see them in the house and get them out. So whenever people come, we have books ready. We have planters, peanuts, and a little 1 ounce bag. You can buy them that way, offered to Krishna. And then we pass them out. Okay. Yeah. So somehow or other, we get them out. The other thing is many times we've been developing a symposia based on Light of the Bhagavat. Tamal Krishna Maharaj did the same thing, which is a nice outreach. And in there, it recommends hearing the works of the Goswamis, which leads us to Upadeshamrita. And then after that, very wonderful in this academic area like that. Okay. So again, nobody is limited. Everybody can be a book distributor. Prabhupada says even a dog can take part in this movement and dance in ecstasy. But you've got to develop your own way of doing it. Okay, so that's the end, or rather the beginning. You see this picture of Prabhupada. We're always thinking Prabhupada is, the class is over. No questions? Okay. Both feet hit the ground. Wherever you go, whomever Krishna sends, tell them about Krishna based on Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So thank you very much.
His Holiness Hanumatpresaka Swami ki jai. Hare Krishna.